So, I am back home in London after yet another weekend of travelling. I've got some really nice B-roll from this trip. Hey Pinky. So I'm going to go check out some of this wonderful British sunshine that we have on this Sunday afternoon. Maybe get a couple of time lapses because the sky is beautiful. But I've been away in Copenhagen, going to see some of my best friends and their family. Had a really great time. But yeah, no, amazing weekend in Copenhagen. We got back very early this morning. And by very early, I mean we went out last night, had 2 hours sleep, and then got up and went to the airport, which I can assure you is never a fun thing. Regardless, so I'm back this week with, yet again, 3 new amazing songs that I can't get out of my head. And hopefully you also enjoy them. It's Friday, well actually it's Sunday, but it's sunny outside, so it can only mean one thing. Music club. So the first record I want to talk about today comes from a band who released an incredible debut album in 2007. I was always pretty quick to shoot them down as being a bit of a paint-by-numbers indie rock band. Records like Let's Dance to Joy Division, Boring Tokyo, Moving to New York. They always sounded great. I always felt that something about it was a bit obvious. That being said, I've always paid attention when they've released new material, and I'm really glad that I did this time, because this record is brilliant. And when it first came out, I was just as fast to shoot it down again. But I've heard it been played a few times since then, from many different music outlets. It can't seem to escape my mind. Don't get me wrong, this record has some questionable lyrics. Listening to Drake in your best friend's swimming pool, turning counterclockwise in a red mushroom, may be one of the most middle-class lyrics I've ever heard. But that aside, it finds a really good balance between indie rock and pop, and manages to pull it off in a very tasteful way. This is Turn by the Wombats.
I like the way your brain works, I like the way you try to run with the wolf pack when your legs are tied. I like the way you turn me inside and out. I like the way you turn.
Now, this record makes me happy. I had 5 favourite albums in 2017, one of which was called Brutalism. It was hard, energetic, angry, political, humorous. It takes 45 minutes to listen to from start to finish. It's one of those albums that I added because I'd heard 2 separate tracks and loved them both. So I thought I'd give the rest of the album a listen. And at different times over the last 12 months, each song on that album has become one of my favourites. I managed to catch them live twice last year. Once was at Reading Festival, and secondly when they supported the Maccabees at Alexander Palace on their last gigs. The energy was so high that you left those gigs feeling like you'd just run a marathon. I was sat editing last week's video and a text message came through to my phone from my little brother reading 2 words: new idols. I very quickly jumped on YouTube to watch their new music video, which individually are always a work of art. And to my joy, I found an incredible evolution of a band that I fell in love with last year. And as much as I did love that album last year, I did question how long they could run on that theme, especially as there seems to be somewhat of a format to their tracks. And I was pleasantly surprised when listening to this. It's another 2-parter. They seem to be popular at the moment. Part 1 is a slow, melancholic record about dealing with irrational masculinity in society. And the second is a massive punk party record, which most definitely wins the award for Best Lyric of the Week. I'm like Stone Cold Steve Austin, I've put homophobes in coffins. It's definitely a record that resonates with me, and I've had it on repeat ever since. This is Colossus by Idols. This next record is one of those that I've been on the hunt for a long time. Been around for a while, and it seems to be getting a lot of airplay on Radio 1. The only problem is it's not on Apple Music or Spotify. This is most likely down to heavy use of the sample of I Don't Know Why I Love You by Thelma Houston.
I don't know why I love
So unfortunately the track has never been officially released. There are a few dance records around at the moment that I just adore, and that's most likely to do with the heavy use of disco samples. Records like Melody's Techno Disco Tool and The Dance by Alex Virgo, which was featured on Music Club a couple of weeks ago. I've always been a fan of sample-driven music, so much so that I wrote my dissertation about it in uni. And it seems to be the trendy thing to do again in dance music. The strings in this record definitely make it one of those fall to the floor happy disco anthems. And every time I hear it, I daydream of Nile Rodgers in Studio 54 in the 70s. I'll definitely have more records like this one. This is D.K.Y, But I Do by Denis Sulta. Oh, and there's no music video for this one, so I thought I'd just put together some old disco clips that I found on YouTube. So that's it, three amazing songs again this week, no shocker really. Edited to perfection of course as well, as a standard. So there we go, 3 great new songs again this week. I hope you enjoyed them, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again next week. Cheers, bye.